And Jimmy's on the Park sponsors this weekly segment with Kat Neville, editor and publisher of Feast magazine. Hello, Kat. Welcome back to the show.
Hello. How are you?
You are holding in your hand the Feast 50 issue that is just hitting newsstands now.
Yes. Spicy hot off the presses. The Feast 50 is our annual, essentially, Reader's Choice poll. And so what we do is we have 50 different categories, and we divide it up into the regions of the state that we cover. Mm-hmm. And in St. Louis, it was a 1-2 victory punch for the folks over at Cleveland Heath in Edwardsville. Ed Heath won Chef of the Year, and they also won Restaurant of the Year.
What kind of restaurant is that?
Have you ever? I guess you've never been to
No.
Cleveland Heath. It's American. I mean, it's kind of hard to say. I mean, they. So it'd be Ed Heath and Jenny Cleveland. They opened this up a few years ago. It's right there on 106 North Main Street in Edwardsville, Illinois. Like a lot of really great American restaurants, they source their food locally and they cook everything fresh every day. But what is really interesting about what they're doing is that it's very broadly appealing and very approachable. So they have everything from an amazing BLT and a great wine list and beer list to Ed really experiments with Asian flavors on his menu. And so he has, for example, this deep fried pork belly dish that is served with watermelon, pickled jalapenos and nak cham, and a little bit of cilantro, which is very unusual. He also has these wonderful kind of seafood and rice bowls that you can get. And so things that are very, very approachable, you can get in and out for just a few bucks, and you can also kind of go whole hog, essentially, as it were. Sweetbreads. Which too bad McGraw's not here.
I know.
Every time I say sweetbreads, he likes to bring up the fact that we ate sweetbreads together at Annie Gunn's, which was the winner actually for Legacy Restaurant in St. Louis. Mm-hmm. But so at any rate, the folks over at Cleveland Heath, they do really beautiful work, and they're just dedicated to making sure that every single person has a really wonderful time at their restaurant. And it's pretty casual. It's a very, like I said, very approachable place.
When you go to some of these restaurants and they have a recipe like the one you just mentioned, which includes watermelon and cilantro, things I would never think would go together, do you prejudge them when you look at them on the menu and go, well, that's a ridiculous combination, and then they bring it and you taste it and you go, oh my God?
No, in places like Cleveland Heath or any of the other kind of top tier restaurants, I trust the chef. And I would recommend that that the diners who are listening do the same thing, because that's where you actually taste things that are surprising. If you go in and say, well, I only want X or Y or Z, and I don't want anything outside of my comfort zone, then you're essentially depriving yourself of something that might be really, really wonderful. And chefs that are working on this level, they know what works and they know what doesn't. And so if you know that you hate watermelon, then don't get the watermelon dish.
Yeah.
But if you are interested in exploring and you are interested in these different ingredients, then that's exactly what you should do, is just trust the chef. Kind of like when you go to a sushi restaurant and you have omakase, which is essentially that, and things just kind of come out and you don't order. And
I'm sorry,
that's the
did
way
you say it's bat?
What?
Did you say it was bat?
No. Things
that.
just come out,
Oh,
and you
okay.
don't order.
Okay.
And so the idea is that you just turn yourself over to the chef, and I prefer to eat that way. When people kind of come up to me and they're like, "Do you want to order off the menu? I'd prefer that the chef just cook for you." I'm like, please just let the chef cook, because that's so much more fun.
Right.
And then you get to try things that you never would otherwise.
You're very adventurous when it comes to food, so that you can do that more than
I
other people.
highly recommend that people become adventurous with food, because you eat more healthfully, honestly, because you have a broader range of things that you are that you're eating, which is something that you need. We need broader nutrients, and it is food should be fun.
So you never get burned when you do that?
No, not really. I mean, if something is not well made, then you move on to the next dish. I mean, life is short.
Yeah.
Eat lots of food. Eat good food.
Eat
Don't
good food.
Don't eat bad food.
Yeah,
Go
the
for the
thinnest
good
person
stuff.
on the show is telling
I
us
know.
eat lots of food.
But good food.
Because that was
which
a
is
problem
usually
for us,
healthy.
Kelly. It was the
know.
quantity of food that was the problem for us before. We weren't eating
too much
enough.
good food.
I would also say, though, that in the American diet, so much of our food is processed. And when you look at volume of food, I don't think that that's the issue as much as it is eating fake food. So
What you
when
eat.
things are coming in a package, go for things that are whole foods, and then, I mean, really, people ask me all the time, why are you so thin? Mm-hmm. How is it possible? Like, I eat, and I eat well, but I don't eat fake food. Right. So that's what I would recommend.
There you go. All right. The Feast 50 issue of Feast magazine is out now. I said on newsstands, but nobody goes to newsstands anymore. It's actually out in restaurants.
Restaurants and bars, yes. We distribute 80,000 copies across the entire St. Louis region in grocery stores, restaurants, bars. So, yeah, it's very easy to find. Feastmagazine.com is the website. And we have a great, very mobile-friendly microsite where you can scroll through all the winners and runner-ups. And there's tons. And then we have a series of events that are happening later on this month related to the Feast 50 as well.
All right, you can get all that at feastmagazine.com. Editor and publisher Kat Neville.
Donuts.
Thank you, Kat.
You're welcome.
9 o'clock. This is KTRS St. Louis.